The people that have said they knew would only have heard rumours about it. If any one of the individuals you have named or referenced had come to us and said there is evidence that there is a relationship between Phillip Schofield and person X, we would have, with evidence, we would have been able to launch a formal investigation, because the imbalance of power, the imbalance of dynamics in that relationship makes it deeply inappropriate. And we have policies that say that very clearly. And so one of the things you, I hope, will see as we go through this is that we worked very, very hard for many, many months, in fact, until recently, to ask people, not just Phillip Schofield and Person X, but people in production, if they knew something was going on. And it was repeatedly denied by both individuals, but also no one in the team ever said there was anything that they could say. In fact, most of them said, we don't know what's going on.
Can I just say what I don't think this is about? I don't think this is about whether Holly now hates Philip and whether Eamon's in the huff with Holly and Kevin. That seems to me to be utterly irrelevant. I think it probably benefits ITV for the tabloids to chase this particular hare, or that set of hares. I think what this is about bullying and protection of staff. I think that's what the issue is, and I think that's why we're here, and that's why we want to talk to you about it. In that context, what did you feel, Dame Carolyn, when you, after weeks of bullying headlines, you saw the editor of This Morning, Martin Frizzell, tell a reporter in answer to her question that he didn't like aubergines?
I think you asked this of my colleague Magnus Brook, and
I
think he said it was ill-advised, and I couldn't agree with him more. I think Martin has made a mistake. I think he knows he made a mistake. I think he didn't intend for it to come. I don't think he intended to say that, but I don't know.
He did, though. He was looking out the window. He saw there was a crew there. By the way, an ITV pool crew. There's been some speculation that he said that because it was a Sky crew, but it was an ITV pool crew that he said that to. He knew they were outside. He came out. He looked as if he thought he was coming out with a clever line. That's how he looked.
Well, look, what I would say is that, Kevin has actually spoken to him. He can talk to that. I don't believe anything Martin said there in the heat of the moment was reflective of our culture. I don't.
I think why it matters. It matters not because it was a ridiculous and absurd and possibly vulgar thing to say. It matters because he's the boss of that programme. It's a programme that is mired now with allegations of bullying. He knew that. And if you're a young staffer, before this whole stooshy began, if you were a young staffer, he was the person that you'd go to if you're worried about bullying. I know you told us that you could respond anonymously, but he was the boss of that programme. That says a lot about the culture at that programme, that he took such a mocking and dismissive attitude towards bullying.
Well, I think you're reading an awful lot into one comment, which was a foolish comment, I absolutely agree, and a very ill-advised comment, I absolutely agree. I think to read into an entire culture of an organisation or a programme from one comment, from one person who probably was a bit under pressure, regardless of the crew on his doorstep, he probably was. He is used to handling pressure. He should be able to handle it. He made a mistake.
Right. Well, I'm not.
So he made a mistake.
I'm not. If he had a saintly reputation and there was no questions of bullying from anybody else, then you're right. That was just a single mistake. But like other members of the committee, I've had so many messages from folk at ITV who talk about the bullying culture of ITV. Now, it seems to me this morning you've talked about loads of investigations and they all seem to end up with ITV coming out smelling of roses.